And are you feeling a little bit more mad lately, Tommy?
Well, I haven't murdered anybody, if that's what you're asking.
Tommy, that's not what I'm saying at all. I mean, you have made so much progress in the last couple of years, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Well, this is the third dead clown in as many weeks, right?
I guess, and?
Doesn't seem a little...
You were gonna say funny, weren't you?
I was gonna say odd.
3, huh?
Well, technically, the second one was in mine, but yeah, 3.
But what I've seen on the news, somebody really hates clowns.
You need to leave now.
So tell me, what is Tommy's issue?
He's afraid of clowns.
I said leave, clown.
So, Eden, how much do you really know about Tommy's childhood?
I know his parents died when he was young. And he told me about the clown with the red balloons right before it happened.
My problem is when he's around, certain people die. Certain clown people.
I'm just gonna have to improvise.
For a clown named Giggles, you're not very funny.
You know, for a monster shaped like a man, you're not very scary.
Welcome to the Grim and Bloody Podcast, brought to you by Death's Parade Film Fest, December 4th, virtual film fest extravaganza happening through Eventive, right here on your social media platform.
It's gonna be on your iPad,
your
iPhone, your
Apple,
note, your computer,
Your CB radio.
your CB radio.
We still have CB radios. We have CB radios these days. All right.
But
So
it'll definitely be everywhere. We're excited. First wave was already announced, and we're receiving the screener copies. And I think we have a bead on who our feature films are going to be. And I can't wait to make the full program announcement for the Death's Parade Film Fest December 4th. So, but without further ado, Jaysen Buterin, thank you for coming on. And yeah, it's a pleasure, and thank you for staying up late, and we'll definitely make it worth your while tonight.
Excellent.
Jason's one of the stars of Horror Tales 6 was it Horror Tales .666 Part 2,
Yes.
etc. etc. And also, I very much we're going to talk about the upcoming Kill Giggles. And I want to find out, what do you have against clowns, man? Dang!
I mean, aside from their sheer existence, nothing really. Floppy foul fuckers, the floppy footed fuckers. I don't like them. I'm not fond of them.
That's cool. There's actually a lot of people out there I know that are like that are just not fond of them. But let me start with Horror Tales 6. Well, first of all, let me say that you are with Anthony Durone, the founder of Death's Parade Film Fest. Myself, I'm Kevin Nicholson, writer for HorrorNews.net, as well as We Belong Dead magazine, Scary Monster, yada yada yada. And Joe Flynn is a Creativity award-winning host.
Joe Flynn.
Al Omega is a Creature Features host, very popular on YouTube and on local television, on many local platforms. So
broadcast.
There you go, nationally broadcast,
Nationally,
yes,
on the Roku channel.
That and the $5 will get you a cup of espresso at Starbucks.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure it's more than $5 now.
Okay, that's right. It's been a while.
That was before apocalypse prices.
That's right.
Okay, 1050. All right. First, I wanted to ask you about Horror Tales 666 is, to me, was kind of, and we talked about this with Joel too, it's kind of a throwback to the the anthology films. Not only that, but also the Horror Tale comics, the 50s, 60s, and so forth. EC horror comics. Yeah, and so I just wondered, when you were given the opportunity to play basically the Crypt Keeper, the linking narrative to this whole thing, and you kind of, to me, you kind of threw yourself into it. It was just really a lot of fun to do. Kind of talk about your experience doing it.
It was super fun. I was super hungover.
That's always a start.
Yeah, no, I mean, right off the bat. Yeah, I'm a method actor for sure. No, yeah, it was just have a nice little sort of dark subterranean sanctuary that's just naturally dim and sinister looking anyway. So I just sort of blacked out a couple of things and just kind of ran with it. And I mean, I had a good time. I tend to usually, whatever I act in, I always tend to throw an Irish accent in it, everything up right off the bat, and scaled that back a bit and just got demented. I think I slammed like 6 cups of coffee in about 20 minutes and just hit record and sent them like the first tracks and everything like that. And they're like, no, this is good. I'm like, I'll do a few more for safety. No, we're good. So it went easy peasy, and it was kind of fun to play that Crypt Keeper. Just coming to, I mean, that show alone right there, Tales from the Crypt, was just one of the best anthology shows. I mean, I was kind of like, the Crypt Keeper meets Rod Serling on mescaline was kind of what I was going for.
That's quite the combo.
It is. I want to pull off that Halloween costume now. I'm not sure how I would do that, so I'm gonna think about that.
I thought there was a little bit. I know you said something about the Irish accent. I thought there was a little bit of Warwick Davis in there. You know, you know. I thought maybe you were going to lapse into a little leprechaun, type of thing going on there.
Well, we got to save something for part 3.
No, it was funny too, because even though in the credit you're known as the voice, but when I went over to the International Movie Database, they called you the devil. So it's sort of like, guys,
you don't know what he is. You don't know what he is. You don't know what he is.
Yeah, he's there. Just
I'm that ever elusive 6.666% miscellaneous category, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
When I think originally it was just supposed to be voiceover stuff. Like I wasn't planning on being in it. Henceforth, my amazing wardrobe and costuming and makeup, which had the bags under the eyes. I mean, I really sold that. You know, I really looked like I had been up and was hungover and was just feeling like 6 kinds of hell. But you know, to me, that came out in my performance on camera. I think.
You and Dustin Hoffman.
So we can be very favorable when we say you look like shit on or you look like death warmed over.
Yeah, I would say like award-winning shit. It sounds better that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
put a set of laurels around it, you know, and then anything is fine.
That's only when Meryl Streep's in the room, okay? You know, it's not just shit; it's award-winning shit. You know,
it's shite. Sounds better.
But yeah, go ahead, please.
I had a question for you, Jaysen. What attracted you to the project of Horror Tales?
I've been lucky enough to be friends with Phil Herman for quite a while now. Kill Giggles and Avail have been in bed together for many moons now. So Phil and I have just sort of gone back and forth and talked about movie experiences and everything else. And then when this opportunity came back up, he was just so damn excited. It was cute. It was fun to watch. And then he offered me the part. He said he wanted me to be involved somehow. So it's just like, whatever, you know, whatever you need. And then it actually came to fruition. A lot of times people will say that, no, people will offer you parts, or people will offer to help. And then when it comes time to actually do that, they kind of disappear. So for it to actually happen, I was very happy to be able to see the whole thing come to fruition, and people from different parts of the country and around the world contributing to this and not really knowing what it was going to be, but was, you know, between Phil and Joel, and Joel doing a lot of legwork of just putting all the puzzle pieces together and pulling off something and doing a damn good job of it. Because a lot of times, a lot of the anthologies, I mean, there are so many different disparate elements that are just sort of thrust together because nobody knows what else to do with them. So they put stuff that doesn't really work, or, you know, while they're all nice individual shorts, there's not a unifying overall theme that sort of weaves all the different strands together into one tapestry of horror. It just, as you know, a lot of times they sort of fall short and just, yeah, it just sort of seems like a hodgepodge. So to see a good anthology, one that has a theme running through it that ties everything together, it's just, yeah, it's sort of refreshing, I think, in an era of reboots and remakes.
Very true.
Yeah.
You know, and you did a great job in it. You know,
Yeah.
you were
Thank you. I
definitely
appreciate
one
that.
of my favorite parts in that whole stories. You know, it's like we're waiting for you to pop out of the TV. You know, like, hey, come on.
Club him in the
Come on,
head
just-
and chain him to the
yes,
radiator or something, you know.
Something, anything.
Well, I actually liked the way that you are just full frontal face to the camera on it. To me, that was, as you know, that was fairly intimidating. Where you could have that. You didn't need, like, you know, Alice Cooper kind of makeup on you to be intimidating. I liked kind of how playful you were with the burglar, because he's not the brightest.
No,
bunch.
definitely. Kind of misspelled burglar on his application, you know. He wrote burger and then
That's right.
So yeah, you have scenes where where he's like, can we stop so I can get a sandwich, or something, and then, you know, he goes to get a sandwich, and then you hear the voice going, "Come on, you're taking too much time. You're taking too much time. You know, eat the sandwich, you fat." Which was great, but again, it's like you seem like a guy. Your character is just playing with him, just toying.
Yeah, I mean, it was good just to kind of to unleash and, you know, to be able to do it, not have, I mean, just to be comfortable in my own space and just sort of to go nuts and not to worry about anyone around, or no crew or no camera, no one looking at you or anything like that. You can just kind of unleash.
And you did that well.
I appreciate that. I've been batshit crazy for a long time now, so I tapped into the reserves, yes, and it came across pretty well.
The crazy has to come out. You've done a lot of really interesting bits of movies here, and you're not afraid of interesting titles. Flipper Stripper Vixens at the Inferno a Go-Go.
Oh, that was fun.
Booze, bullets, and hot pink Jesus. That sounds like something to be done in Vegas, man.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, once we got out of the '80s and we didn't have to pay by the letter anymore, I just went fucking full steam ahead with my movie titles, you know. No, it's just one of those things. Like Flipper Stripper Vixens at the Inferno a Go-Go. It popped out of my head one day, and it sounded like a brilliant fucking movie title. So I'm like, well, we've got to make that. And that was supposed to be part of a trilogy. The second one was going to be Flipper Stripper Vixens versus the Juke Joint Jezebels from outer space, which were going to be 69-foot tall sultry sapphic sirens from the planet Satana. As you can tell, I also abuse the shut up alliteration, like on a per minute basis. And then I think the third one was going to be Flipper Stripper Vixens in the search for El Robotico Diablo, because I wanted to build the devil's robot in a jungle. That just seemed like a good idea because I hadn't seen that before. But we only did the first one. I know. Well, I'm waiting for those big Hollywood movie bucks to roll in so I can build a little miniature town and then have models.
They made a sequel to Zombie Rampage like 40 years later.
This is true. I got it. Yeah, we're building suspense. It's all part of a massive long con promotional campaign.
That's right.
I just did 2 movies on my show, Don't Look in the Basement 1 and 2, which was done in 72 and 2015 respectively.
Nice.
So 40 something years between the two of them.
There you go.
So, you know, I don't know if you're young enough, man, but maybe you can get it to happen. 40 years apart.
Thoughts and prayers, dude. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, that's right. And money.
And a shit ton of money.
Speaking of titles, I'm looking forward to seeing on the Food Network The Devil's Lettuce.
Oh yeah.
That's something that I don't know. Maybe Andrew Zimmern should be hosting, like you find on the Travel Channel in his bizarre foods destinations. The Devil's Lettuce in Mongolia, in this rare, in a small mountain village, you'll find this stuff. If you eat it, you're possessed.
I love it.
Or something.
I already hate lettuce.
That's good. I'd rather have a show where I go around and just smoke a bunch of different kinds of weed around the world. So like, where am I going today? I don't care.
Sorry, are we filming? Nah, it doesn't matter if we're filming.
It's legal. Go there. I mean, the Devil's Lettuce. Actually, that sounds like something you've got in Stockholm right now. There's a salad.
It could sell.
Well, let's talk about Kill Giggles, a feature that you wrote and direct last year that had its premiere, and it looks like it's getting some really good reviews. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very proud of that little piece of movie magic.
And you hate clowns that much, really?
Yeah, no, I hate them, terrified of them, crippling case of coulrophobia. So, so what do? I make a feature film where I'm surrounded by them. So again, I'm on par with the burglar in terms of not being necessarily the brightest bulb in the box, but, God damn it, I've got pluck. So spunk. I would say, I don't think you can say spunk anymore. I don't think that means what it used to mean.
Not quite.
We do. That's a whole different podcast. And then,
what does it mean now?
I don't know. If you like Urban Dictionary, like
I'll tell you after the show, Kevin.
So we'll do that. We'll play Pictionary later.
It's this. No.
So
instead of hangman, it's hungman. This. What was the question? Did I win?
Let me find out.
Okay.
Let me ask you the. So you, I mean, thanks for for clarifying it. You don't like clowns and so forth. I was going to say, did you avoid and Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Never seen it.
Never seen it?
Nope.
It will give you night terrors, I think.
I have no doubts. I made it through like both versions of it.
That one was freaky good though.
And it wasn't that. It really what unhinged me was the clown marionette scene in Poltergeist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like that fucking did it from there. Because actually, I dressed up as a clown. I think when I was 5. I was normal then. So I mean, this is obviously a choice that I made. I wasn't born this way. But I was cool with that. And then I fucking saw Poltergeist, and then like that just did it, and I was never ever the same after that. And then from there, I just like I don't like looking at them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hang out with them. And yet I know professional clowns now, and it's weird.
There you go.
It's a weird fucking paradox I didn't see coming. But it sort of irked me, because it was just the clowns were always the serial killers, always the monsters, always the murderers, the spreaders of mayhem, what have you. And I wanted to see something where they died. And sometimes you get lucky, they meet their grisly fate at the end, and rightfully so at the end of the third act or something. But I wanted to see them die, and a lot. And so originally it was just gonna be a short film. I was gonna do this, and then a week later I had like 4 composition books full of clown death. And now there's a whole box of them. So when my commitment hearing rolls around, my wife should have no problem getting me locked away for I think the rest of my life, I would say.
Been nice knowing you.
Yeah, no, so, I'm glad we'll have this for my son to be able to see later, when Daddy used to not be in the white rubber room. But it was just I wanted to see them die. And I thought to myself that, I thought surely somebody had to have done this before. Someone had to do it already. And me and Shirley, we hit the internet, so we did a bunch of research, and we couldn't find anything where that had happened. And it seemed odd to me that, again, in an era of remakes and reboots, and we're going to remake this whole movie that came out 5 years ago because we can't think of anything else better to do. Or we don't want to take a chance on, God forbid, an original independent horror idea. So the fact that no one had done this, it just seemed like such a simple sort of a little twist, but to have a serial killer of clowns, not one who dresses up like a clown. And we sort of hit it, we ran with it, and more people got involved, and then it turned into a 19-day extravaganza that was one of the best and most terrifying experiences of my life.
There you go. Yeah. And you do have an incredible cast in it too, because I noticed Vernon and Wells from Commando. You have Judith O'Dea from the original Night of the Living Dead.
Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara.
They're coming to get you,
We
Barbara.
came and got
Okay,
Barbara and
it's
put her in the
coming.
movie.
Yes. And then Felicia Rose, who, you know, is adorable as always.
Yes.
When I see her at the conventions, it's like, hello, duck cover. No, but it has a great cast, and I really do like the storyline of what you're going for in this film.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, the casting it was amazing, and then to be able to work, we've also got Michael Ray Williams and then Elliot Church, so those are our two leads, and Elliot Church is just everything she does is fucking spectacular. Michael Ray Williams, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the stage or the screen. Like right now, he's starring in a production of Sweeney Todd that he's directing. I mean, he just fucking nails it. So it's like he's one of those people that everything they do is just awesome, and you really want to not like them, but you can't because they're too nice, and it's fucking annoying sometimes. But yeah, it's just the casting was just solid. I mean, state of the art.
I'm taking a look at on IMDb. You're kind of on Kill Giggles. You're kind of.
It says Pornhub in your lenses, but if you say IMDb, that's cool.
He's actually not.
Busted.
Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell.
That's our story.
I know Brazilian fart porn when I hear it.
Innocent, Your Honor.
Okay, but they fart so erotically. Dang.
The cheeks ripple like majestic waves.
Oh, that's it.
Mouth the phone out of the porn girls there.
And Anthony, you thought this show was going to hell. This show is going to
We are.
Look,
were you teetering on the
couldn't be any
precipice
hotter
before?
than it is here in Reading, so I'm probably ready for it now.
You take a look at the description of this film right from IMDb. It is saying that the title character is not a sociopath. He's not a psychopath. He's a guy that's been traumatized by clowns, and it's basically when I'm reading the Internet Movie Database on this, even the description shows that this movie lacks or this movie defies convention. And I just think that's a plus going for it, that it's already got this you've got this originality, and I'm really looking forward to seeing.
I appreciate it. I can't wait for everyone to see it too. We've been through deliverables hell back and forth for many months now, but I think we, as far as I know, we're done and just waiting for a release date. And the whole distribution thing skyrocketed far beyond our anticipation, just sort of right out of the gate. Shortly after we got done shooting, we had interest, and then by the time we had a picture lock, we had already started the deal and everything else like that, and it went to a far bigger place than we had ever envisioned when we started filming. So it's still
amazing.
quite a
Congratulations.
very surreal. I appreciate it. Thank you. I want
Congrats.
you got. I can't say who it is, and that's the frustrating part. I guess they were delivering the grindstone, and then a quick Google search will connect the dots. But it's so it's just it's some kind of wonderful, that's for sure.
That's fantastic. And I know you're in a new version of Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, Night of the Living Dead Genesis. That was actually
really?
where I met. That was where I met Judith O'Dea. Matt Cloud was doing that project several years ago. I think it's still in development. It's one of those where it's just the funding, the feature, and the production, and then the apocalypse didn't help. So I mean, it's still in development. I think he's damn near done with it, which would be amazing. But yeah, we shot at a place called the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia, and that place was fucking terrifying. Yeah, like fucking
it's
terrifying.
haunted.
Like nobody went to the bathroom by themselves at all. It doesn't matter like how big or fucking burly. Like everybody had a buddy and went in groups. Because everywhere you went in that thing, like, it was the creepiest thing ever. Like, you walk by one room and there's a wedding dress hanging up there that had clearly been there, like, in the building. The haunted building was built around it. And it was just there. Like, nobody bothered to move it. No, we didn't. That wasn't part of set dressing. It wasn't a prank. There's just the the bloody stained wedding dress hanging out there.
What was the name of it again?
The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
And if you watch any of those ghost shows, occasionally they will go and they'll investigate that place. And some of them will say, I'm out of here. That was a great 24 hours, but I'm gone. I'm never coming back.
Jason, was that one place where you went into and you just got a vibe?
I mean, you didn't even have to go into it. I've still got pictures. I'll show you one of the pictures, like pulling into the parking lot. Because, I mean, it just looked like that creepy fucking, like, this gothic Victorian, mental sanatorium, just like on a cliffside somewhere in a country that ends in Anya. It's just, it was fucking unholy. And then everyone stopped. There were almost like several different car accidents because everybody was hopping out taking pictures. Because as soon as you got out, like, the sky turned black, and then the thunder, and then someone's playing an organ far off in the distance. And, like, it's weird. But it was just, it was a terrifying and exhilarating experience all at the same time. Because I get to play I have a role where I play a security guard. Then I go and I take Barbara from location A to location B. And it dawned on me, like, as I'm driving up there, I'm like, I'm going to get Barbara. I'm like, oh, no, it's just a little.
To get you, Barbara.
Good God, that place is horrifying. Why is that not a tear down?
Dirty, nerdy moment.
Look at it.
Oh, yeah. Because Anthony's looking at it.
Yes.
But it was weird.
So is the audience. We just showed a couple clips here through the video. Yay.
There was one room where they had it was a whole wall of masks. And we were like, oh, that's kind of creepy. And then you find out the story, and it's like the inmates had to make a mask, like, and the outside of the mask was how they felt on the outside. But then, like, they flew, you go around to the other side, it's like, and you see, like, the inside of the mask was how they thought they looked on the inside. I mean, it was just like, holy fuck. It was terrifying. And then I'm hanging out with Judith O'Day, and I was like, and she just made everything okay. I'm like, I feel better now,
She is adorable. I've spoken with her many times and interviewed her. She is just adorable.
She is. She has
high energy.
She has the most perfect diction and eloquence of anyone. Like, the way she enunciates words is just amazing.
Makes you sound like a slavering drunk when you're next to her,
Oh, always, yeah. It's just like a
even if you are
babbling brook. Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't end well. But no, she's the coolest.
There we go.
Now, I have an odd question here.
Excellent. It's about time.
Oh, good. Too much normal. I bumped into a gentleman, Tony Jones, and he said he was acquainted with you.
Tony Jones, a camera guy.
He's a camera guy on your show, on one of your movies.
Yes.
I remember him most from Zombie Isle. Zombie Isle.
Excellent.
Where he played a professor. We chatted at the recent New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Fest. Lovely man.
Cool.
So, but that's fun. We talked about how this has been caught in production hell for forever. And we can't wait for it to get out.
No, yeah. I mean, it's just dealing with the deliverable system of Hollywood. We had no idea. We were not prepared for. We had a damn good movie when we started, and now we have an amazing film just because of all the digital deliverables, the legal, I mean, all the things we did to the picture, the sound, everything else like that we had to do for the distributors, per their prerequisites. It amplified the film a thousandfold. So it was, I cannot be prouder of this movie. I just want everyone to be able to see it. I want them, I want the world to be able to see everything that we put into this film. So
it's like the one movie I'm looking forward to seeing. So,
everyone, the world. We've had a lot of modicum film festival success with it so far, and that's been the only audience that's been able to see it up to this point. So it's just I'm hoping maybe for a Halloween release, maybe. Thoughts and prayers. Maybe we
Yeah.
You're going for a limited theatrical release for Kill Giggles?
What?
Limited theatrical release?
That would be super rad. That would be super rad. But again, I mean, with an apocalypse and things being all kind of topsy turvy, it's like, hey, let's all get together in a small crowded room and hang out. So it's like it's cool, or it's like, you know, stream it on whatever and smoke a bowl in your underwear or whatever like that. Like I'm kind of good either way. Or show up in your underwear to the theater, and then, but you have to bring a bowl to get in. I mean, it seems like there are ways to be able to adapt in an apocalypse that could make everyone happy, but they don't let me make the rules for some bizarre reason.
No.
I don't know. And we have a feature length behind the scenes documentary called Inside the Circus Tent, and that's we're going to self-distribute that one. We're just getting some of that legal paperwork out of the way to be able to put out, but that's the heart and soul of the film, and it's just there are points in that make me misty-eyed still, which is pretty amazing. So hopefully that will make a lovely package deal.
Well, let me know, because I'm dying to see this, and I would be happy to hype it on my show when it comes out.
I want to, yeah. I'm to the point now. Like, I'm tempted to sell bootleg copies on VHS out of the back of my fucking car. I'm like, you know, come get me, Hollywood. Come get me. I want to set up 2 VCR decks and fucking dupe that shit and be a pirate in a Dairy Queen parking lot.
I was selling Blu-rays of my short film at a book festival, so I feel you.
Nice.
No, just take one of your friends. You know, give them some money. Tell them to go in their underwear to a movie theater and say, look. Sell copies of this movie. That'll get you, well, it'll get him arrested, but you know, that'll get your name in the papers. As far as that goes. But I'm with Al. I really am looking forward to seeing this film, especially it's different. It's not the clown as the demon. It's not the clown as the killer. In fact, it is the clown that's being hunted. And there's an exchange. I know we're going to talk about, I think, the trailer, but there's an exchange that I saw in the trailer, and I'm really interested to see how the scene plays out, which is the young man, the lead, talking to I guess the clown. I don't know if it's a clown character or another gentleman, and he says, "You are." You know, for a clown named Giggles, you're not particularly funny. And the guy comes back and says, you know, for an ordinary, you know, looking, you know, guy, you're not particularly scary. Or ordinary, you know, I want to see that whole scene.
For a monster shaped like a man, you're not very scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was Michael Ray Williams and Vernon Wells.
Yeah.
And that whole scene was just and then LA Church was in there. We call it the clown father scene. Because like the way that it's lit and the shot just sort of comes down, like it sort of got that. Yeah, I mean, it had that Godfather vibe to it. But that's one of my favorite lines I've ever written. And like sometimes like I'll hear it in the screening. I'm like, holy shit, that's a good line. And I'm like, holy shit, I wrote that. But
how about this? Without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the trailer, Jaysen. Kill Giggles. Here's a teaser, guys. Hope you enjoy. And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah,
that was the fastest trailer I've ever seen.
I didn't have time to go take a piss.
We're super fast with our trailer.
I saw it a few times before we screened it again. Yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, I don't know how many features we're going to screen at the Death Parade Film Festival. We're probably shooting for 2 or 3. I would definitely, you know, welcome Kill Giggles as, you know, our second or third. But yeah, definitely shoot for your limited theatrical release. I know you said that it's already getting a lot of play at the film festivals. If you want to put it to one more audience,
of course,
you let us know, because there's some definite high quality production value in that trailer. I can't wait to watch the rest of it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So it seems like we're pretty close to a distribution on this. I know when I've talked privately with Phil McCove at Avail Entertainment, it seems like it's pretty close. It's pretty close to getting.
it's done. Like we've delivered the grindstone, and I mean it's ready to go. We've been through all the digital deliverables, like all the legal deliverables. I've got forms out my fucking asshole 6 ways from Sunday. I've got PDFs. Like we've been through hell and back, and not the fun one, like the hell and like fucking like the weird, like Norwegian hell, you know. That's just, yeah, it's hell, and like there's an umlaut over every letter, and it's off-putting. But we've done it. We have jumped through all of Hollywood's flaming hoops each and every single time. And we've done it on an aglet of a shoestring of a budget, a bunch of, a motley crew of movie making maniacs from North Carolina who had no idea what the fuck they were doing. And we did it, and we've held our own against the big kids. And yeah, I've got ideas about how we can maybe sort of change the system, but I'm waiting to get inside the system first, because people are always like, well, this is just the way that the business is, and this is the way things are. The way things are suck and need to change. And there's got to be a way. I don't know. We're gonna see if we can do something just to kind of maybe bridge the gap between the major studios and the indie crowd, because there doesn't need to be this schism.
I'm sure it is discouraging to go through that, and kind of makes you feel like, why don't I just release this shit on my own? Why do I need to go through your guys' hoops? And while I've never been involved in a major distribution deal like you, the same thing happened in the literary world, before the explosion of self-publishing with there's a whole slew of companies now, and I know CreateSpace kind of took over majority, but it was like, why do I have to go through the top 5, right, in order to get my book on the shelf at Safeway? I'm just trying to get in the hands of readers, right. Do I really need a literary agent, literary manager? I need to go through your editor. I need to, avoid the slush pile. It's just, all sorts of hoops just to get it in the hands of readers. And then self-publishing comes along, and it's, well, look at that. I can, gain some popularity on my own with a platform that lets me do whatever I want, and they take a nominal fee. So we've hosted at this point a slew of indie filmmakers that are just cutting out their own success. Some of them have reached some pretty high tiers. I forget the film name, but they had a deal with Grievous Ventures. Was that the wrestling one? What was it, guys? What was it?
The Manson
Midnight
Brothers?
Zombie Massacre.
Yes. So that was a high quality one. They got Grievous Venture, but most everyone else, they just say, I'm going to cut out my own living. Why do I have to go through Hollywood? It's just, I
get it now, dude.
Well, Anthony, I mean, everybody here, we know we've had guests on, as Anthony has mentioned, we have guests on who have said, I'm simply going to release this to YouTube. I'm going to put this on, and I talk to people all the time. You say that part of it is because I'm in control of my project.
Yeah.
And it's not going out to, this agency or a company or whatever, where you're getting a situation like Jaysen is in, where it's just kind of feels frustrating. It's kind of out of your hand right now. And you want to see it happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's like you're handcuffed, but not with like the fuzzy love cuffs or anything. It's like the shitty little metal ones you get from Dollar General. The key never works.
Congrats. You're locked up for life.
Woo, winning.
I think I have a pair of those cuffs somewhere.
I know, right? And again, I've been very tempted. I'm just like, many times throughout this process, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just putting it up on YouTube. It's like, go nuts, I just project it on the side of my house or something and make popcorn for the neighborhood kids. I don't know. That's good. But then what keeps drawing me back is the fact that it's like, when this finally comes out, and hopefully, because they've been taking their time and they've asked so many questions, and I know they probably do this for everything, but I've got to hope, that they've got a legitimate interest in the novelty of this idea and in promoting it and just sort of running with it. And, even to be like, look, no one else has done this first. That's got to at least raise a few eyes and be like, what? And we've done so much of the promotional, the marketing legwork ourselves. Like, there's not a whole lot for them to do to sort of jump on top of what we've already done and run with it, but with an actual budget. So for for the audience that gets us, I mean, just the sheer increase in exposure, that's what's got to make it worthwhile for everyone on both sides of the camera. So like, I mean, if it was just me and it was just my movie and I paid for everything and all that kind of shit, then yeah, I mean, I would I'd be more tempted, I think, to just sort of not care as much. But so many people put so many hours and days and weeks and months of their life into this film, that I mean, it's got to get the recognition that it deserves.
Yeah,
and I think
you just want it to do the right way for everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it and lots of lessons learned for next time. So I don't know, and they keep telling me it's like, well, when this comes out, you'll be a studio director. I'm like, that's fantastic. What does that mean? Like, do I get like a cool bathroom, or like, is there a handshake, or I get like $1 off tacos at Jack in the Box? Like, what the f- does that mean? You know, do I get direct like fucking Sharknado 12?
Yeah,
you get a suite at the minor league ballpark.
Nice,
That's what
nice.
you did, yeah.
Minor league.
The minor league ballpark, right? And not a weekend, game. Gotta be during the week on an afternoon matinee where nobody cares.
It's got to be between Monday and Monday. It's like that's
right. That's right.
And also y'all end up, you know, as long as the place isn't haunted, you're fine.
That's right.
I kind of
as
want
long
to
as
go
it's not haunted
trans
because you were
Allegheny.
there. Like when you leave and then it's haunted, you're like, shit, sorry, but technically that's not in the location disclaimer at all. Although I might put that in there. Like, we are not responsible for spectral activity after we film here. Good idea. I'll be like,
well, Jaysen, where can everyone find you?
I'm right here.
Yeah, welcome.
In about an hour, I'm gonna be up there. And then,
He's like,
How
what
about
do you
on
guys?
I'm sorry, I should have said
Later, I'll be
on
over there.
social media. Where can our audience find more of your work?
He's like, he's like, what are you guys drinking? I've been here all along.
I'm right here.
I'm always here. You just never notice me. It's like
That's right. He's
the
like
points
the
in your life-
guy.
the points in your life when there's one set of footprints, that was me carrying you. Yeah.
There it is. He'll be screaming at us like through Horror Tales 666 part 3 and 4. You guys get mushing.
I always wanted to make like the Satan's version to the footprints poem and just have it call it like hoofprints. And then like sometimes I only saw one set of hoofprints, and that was Satan carrying me to tacos or something, you know.
So where are you at on social media?
Oh yeah, it's the original question. Everything is Mad Ones Films, Facebook.com, YouTube.com, Twitter.com. I think on Instagram we're the Mad Ones Films, because I forgot my password and the pricks wouldn't let me reset it. So I'm like, fuck you! We're adding an article, so we added the, because I couldn't do a Mad Ones Film. So I'm like, I can't have the singular and the plural in the same thing. It's like the Lone fucking Rangers. It didn't make sense.
That's
so
Mad
yeah,
Ones
Mad
Films?
Ones Films. CB Radio, we're Clown Killer 666. We're also on GeoCities. No, we're not, but now I want to be. I wonder if that's still around.
GeoCities,
like geocities.com
like 10 years.
/Soho/neighborhood.
You're also on Netscape?
yes. Netscape Gold. None of that navigator shit.
It's next AOL. I mean, come on, you know, that's like 15 years ago. I couldn't believe. I actually looked the other day. I couldn't believe that MySpace still is there.
It is.
I could not believe that. That's
It's mostly
that's a different
set
story.
up for
Yeah.
musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, Jaysen, well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. This was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
We cannot
It was a
wait
pleasure
for
to be had by
Kill
you all.
Giggles to come on. You had a question, Joe, before we?
No, I was going to say, whenever Kill Giggles or whatever you're working on next, keep us informed so we can promote it on the show and stuff like that. And, you know, and if you want to come back, let us know.
Next time I'll wear pants.
There you go.
Why? We don't.
And we're gonna have you on again, Jaysen. Only thing is, next time we're all gonna wear clown masks and just watch you go into sheer terror.
Curl into a ball in the corner and cry like a little kid. No, I get that. No, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, I'll make sure I put on the eyeliner so it smears and runs, and I look all, yeah, I look all verklempt.
I want to see. I want to see bubbles coming out. You know, that kind of Blair Witch project.
Oh, you want Blair Witch? You want Blair Witch?
Snot
Oh
bubbles,
my God, yeah.
you know, coming out.
Oh,
The parody on that was amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't they remake that shit too?
yes, they did.
They did. It was horrible.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy kids.
But-
Well, before we close,
Aaron,
I want to
yeah.
go ahead and pass the floor to my wonderful co-host because we're all busy doing stuff. Al, what do you got going on this week on Creature Features?
Well, I have some newer movies. As it's pretty much for me. It's warm up for Halloween. Warm up for Halloween. Come on, more Halloween stuff. So all month long we're having Halloween themed movies, and I will be at NorCal HearstCon on Nightmare Island, Saturday the 23rd, 5 to 10 p.m. And you can come on down and get some of my very special merchandise and bring the kids because who knows what I can get from them. So,
I'm bringing my kids near you.
okay.
It's Nightmare Island.
Probably a good idea. Probably really good.
I'm innocent of all charges.
Joe, what you got going on?
Oh, just movie news that will drive everyone crazy. You know, like, hey, I'm rebooting my own self. No, just joking. Not much. I'm getting ready for Halloween like Al, and gonna be talking about, the new Rob Zombie's updates on his movie, The Munsters, and crazy stuff. Crazy, I tell you.
I get confused for Rob Zombie a lot.
Yes.
Many times.
Yeah, you got a little bit.
And the guy from the Black Crows
Chris Robinson.
Yeah, I can see it.
Or Jeebus, yeah.
Jeebus.
Always a good time.
Kevin, what you got cooking? I know you're a busy guy.
I am actually going to be starting my first cult. Yes,
Cult.
it's
Cult.
it's a dangerous
Boy band.
it's a dangerous mixture of boy bands, Satanism, and Republican politics. And it's
No, stay away from that. That's evil. That is not allowed in this group.
I'm not going to say I'm not intrigued.
But no, I'm actually got my first work at home day job.
Yay.
Starting on Monday. I'll be training for that.
Congrats.
Getting more guests for the show. I'm pretty proud that we are booked for the rest of the year.
We're loaded.
Yes.
We're officially booked. In fact, as part of the film festival, we kind of open the doors to any selectees who want to come on and just talk about the work here, and we can just add it on as additional show or additional content for the fest. And awesome. Thanks to the hard work of Joe, Kevin, we have a number of guests, and also Al. Thank you for the subscribers. We have guests pretty much through January, so very interesting. We're happy to just provide a platform for everyone to come on here, talk about your work, get people engaged and interested and talking about it amongst themselves. That's what we're about here. We have a lot of fun with it.
What Anthony is trying so subtly, to say is, if Kill Giggles was in our rotation for the festival, we'd have you back in a minute, Jaysen.
We wouldn't even make you bring a piano.
That's right.
No.
What about, can I bring a guitar?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll bring my
Guitar.
We'll jam out.
I mean, I'll shred a fucking guitar solo, dude. Like, we'll do like fucking Inagata Davida, but the extended version.
There you go. Oh,
there we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, by the way, also before we also go, Joel Winecoop wanted us to remind you, he's hoping that you're really happy with the way you came out in Horror Tales 666 Part 2.
Of course. Well, my thing is, I want them to be happy with the way my stuff came out. So,
yeah, we had a good time with Joe last week.
No, he's
a hoot.
cool
He's a
cat.
hoot.
Looks familiar.
Yes.
We need to tell Joel the best way to get a performance out of Jaysen is to get him high off his ass.
Yeah.
Just high off his ass. Drunk,
Off, not
drunk
on.
as shit. High on his ass.
Not high on ass.
No. High off of his
Ah,
ass.
it depends on what kind of role, you know. So all got our preparation methods, you know, A through G, H, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's our time for the show, guys.
Thank you.
Jaysen, I appreciate you coming on and
Thank
spending an
you.
hour
Thank you.
and staying up late. I know you're on the East Coast. I appreciate you coming on and
course.
talking about Horror Tales 666 and Kill Giggles, which we are definitely excited to see. And we hope to see you again sometime.
Absolutely. I'll be back.
All right.
I'll be back.
Thanks, Jaysen.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Have a good night,
You're so
everybody.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again.
Till next time. Enjoy horror.
And-
Yeah.